Thank you for tuning in to Reentry Building Tables, first episode of Pedigree. I have the honor of having my son, I.M.P Mills, that's incarcerated, to be on the phone to explain to you about pedigree. Hello, I.M.P, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you nice and clear.
Okay, that's beautiful.
So can you explain to us the word pedigree? What does that mean to you?
I look at it in a sense like when you look at pedigree, you think about like dogs sometimes and dog breeds and like where does the dog come from, right? Is it a champion? Does it come from the bloodline of champions, right? Because it's going to say a lot about the spirit that's inside of that dog. So that's when I look at pedigree, I look at bloodline, I look at what you came from. And the pedigree from what I came from is basically confinement, it's enslavement. As you know, because you're my mom, I'm serving 21 and a half years to life in prison. I've been incarcerated since a teenager, and I just turned 39 on the 30th of September. So that's a real thing. So that's where I am. But before me, even you, Mom, did multiple bids in prison. You were in the Fed. Not just that, but your parents, my grandparents, did time in prison. My father did time in prison. And I'm sure if we were to like check back our genealogy, right, our pedigree, we would find a bunch of sharecroppers, convict leasing, and just slaves on plantation, just people in confinement and shackles and chains, bound, not able to really do for themselves. That's where I come from. If I have a child will be born and came also from this bloodline of incarcerated individuals. My family has just injustice impacted. It's just crazy. So that's why this podcast should be called Pedigree, or even Prison Pedigree, because this is about people who have been impacted by our criminal justice system.
And
you understand, Mom?
Yes, I understand, son. And one thing I do want to say, we're not the only family that is going through this. We're not the only family that has overcame this, because it is a generation of people being incarcerated, a pedigree of incarceration, as we say. But it stopped. It has been broken. Let me just say that. It has been broken. And it's been broken through my other son. So we're just we're really just taking it easy. Let me stop. Let me pause this, son. Hold on. So, Kim, what are the challenges of your everyday life on the inside?
My main challenge is staying out of trouble.
Staying out of trouble.
But it's that's like a major thing, because I'm so close now to like the parole board and all these things. Like any little issue could really be a bad thing for me and my family. So it's like I need to just stay out of trouble, and to do that, I have to like keep my head low. And that's hard to do because I'm not really one of those kind of people. But that's what I need to do to survive. And get out so I can get to my family.
Yes, because...
It's mentally taxing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's mentally taxing dealing with a lot of these things from day to day because you have some people who are opportunists and they will understand that you have things going for you that you don't mess up, and because of that they will test the limits of I don't know, your boundaries or whatever. They test it to see how far they can get because they know that you really don't want no problem because you just want to go home.
I know, even in the feds, when I was in the feds, thank God I only had 2 little issues. Because I knew, when you go in, you have to keep your head down because you're going in to already prepare yourself to go out. And when I had got a 20-year sentence, I already knew, when I looked and seen we was only getting 52 days good time, I knew I couldn't afford to get that taken because I needed to get back to my children because this has been such a long time. When they gave me 20 years, usually they gave me like 18 months, 37 months. I did that with flying colors. But I came back out and kept repeating the same thing over and over again. So with that, I knew how to keep my head down and to stay out of trouble to try to get back. But in the midst of that, he had got locked up. So... go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I said, who is he?
Lakim, my son.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah. Who else got locked up?
So I got locked up while you was already incarcerated.
Yes.
I want to ask you, how did that make you feel, though? What was it like experiencing that, understanding that your son was now in the same place as you? And like, let me just real quick take you to the South Central Regional County Jail. I'm saying when we go from Charleston, West Virginia, and all that. Shout out to the Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Mountains. I'm saying Skills in the Hills, Chucktown, 304, and all that. We go to the South Central Regional County Jail, and you hit that intake area. They stripping you naked, correct?
Yes.
They checking your bodies and stuff, correct?
Yes.
All right, so now you in prison, you hear that your son, they got locked up, so you know they stripping him naked, they checking him, his body and all of that. He's going through this process that you went through with flying colors. How was that for you mentally?
When I found out that my son was incarcerated, it's still to this day is a touchy subject with me because I'm doing time with him. Even though I'm in the streets, but I'm still doing time with him. It's not a lot of... It's only one thing that brings me to my knees. I'm going to say 2. Is the Lord first and my children. And when I got the letter, which I didn't get letters, so when I got that letter from him telling me, Mom, I'm locked up. This is what happened. No, I'm on the run, he says. Let me tell you something about being on the run. My son have seen me run from the feds. They looking for me, kicking in my family's door. I want to just tell my family, I apologize to them. for them kicking their doors in, looking for me, for putting my family through a lot that I did. But I just really, it brought me to my knees. That pain you can't describe, because I had woke up and I was saying enough is enough. I'm going to break this curse. At the time, I didn't realize it was a curse. I was feeling like I was doing what I needed to do to feed my children and my family. So, in that sin, it really did not, it served a purpose for right then, but it caused more pain than it did good.
All right, but I want to take you back. I want to take you back down to that day you described to me. All right. They doing mail call in the block. Are you in the cell when the letter comes, or are you like in a common area?
Okay, what we had, it was a big common area. We only had cubicles, so we didn't have cells where you locked and you had privacy. No, everybody could see everything. You just straight.
You were in the dormitory.
Huh?
You were in a dormitory.
Yes, exactly. With no privacy at all.
I understand.
You had to get dressed in the shower.
Okay, so now this is dynamic. All right, so I never knew this now. So you're not in a place of safety, so to speak, where
Oh no.
in the shower you can cover up the door.
Oh no.
When you receive this letter, okay, I hear you. So I'm saying you have to sit on your bed in your cubicle and read this letter with no privacy.
Yes, actually. Okay, actually, when I sat on the bed, I wound up being on the floor. Again, I was on my knees, crying and praying. But the women were so used to me being on my knees, they never they never seen anything different. They just figured I was praying to the Lord or whatever, but I put the letter on the floor and I kneeled down and I just cried and I held that letter. I picked it up and I held it. It just because it was his handwriting. I knew I couldn't do anything. I could not do anything. That's one of the things about a mother, that you always want to protect your children. You always want to be there for them. But I could not be there for him. My hands was tied. That is the worstest feeling. That's just like, when you got shot. When my son got shot, like Kim got shot. And I called home and my sister told me, she don't know, she almost killed me. Because I was ready to. I was just, you just don't want to hear that type of news in a situation like that. I know a lot of women have got that call.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying they got that call, but I'm saying when you were in prison, you're helpless.
Yes.
I mean, you really can't even get up and walk and do what you want to do. You can't make a phone call when you need to.
Yes.
All the time, so you're just there, and it's like your hands are tied behind your back.
Yes.
Understand that our hands are tied behind our back. This is the pedigree of confinement.
Yes.
However, there are always cracks. And through those cracks, light shines.
Yes.
And with that light, there's opportunity to see. This podcast is a light shining through the crack. The crack that hit the prison system is the tablets. I want to give a shout out to Securus and JPay for coming out with these tablets.
Yes.
The tablets put a crack in the system.
Yes.
And through that system, through the crack, it's the light of this podcast that shines through. I can sit in the cell and spend time with you. I can talk to you. I can give you my voice, and my voice can fill up the room where you are. That puts my presence in your presence as a present.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, it's crazy. I can imagine what you were thinking, because as those people were stripping me and checking my body cavities and things that I didn't even fathom would be anywhere, because like I was a teenager and I just never did anything like, hide something like, I don't know, in my butt or whatever. Like, who does that in the street? But they checked me because of security. And I remember thinking like, wow, this is what my mom went through. These are the things that my mom went through. This is what my grandmother went through, my grandfather went through. And when you really think about it, or when you really resist, you see that these practices are not new. I'm saying I take you back to slavery time. All right, if I was a slave owner, I had a plantation and I wanted to go buy new slaves, I didn't just go to the market. When I went, I brought my physician with me. I brought my doctor with me. This is pedigree, though. We looking at slaves, right? Not to put it in a derogatory sense, but it's like a veterinarian to go and look at these dogs that I'm going to go buy for my plantation. And that's what he did. When he went with his physician. The physician checked the teeth of the slave, like he checked the teeth of a horse. They checked the genitals and they checked his rectum and all of that. Checked them for diseases and everything. To know that I was making a purchase of a healthy slave. So I'm saying it's under security that they checking us. So it's not necessarily like they want to make sure that I'm healthy. But the practice still is there.
Yes. So, and I understand exactly what you're saying, but yes, I definitely went through my mind every day, still to this day. Like I said, I'm doing time with you, so I'm constantly thinking when you're just calling me, telling me some of the things that are going through. I want to just talk a little bit about just your mental state right now. I know you have told me that you have PTSD.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Right, so one of the most recent experiences I had with that, like with today is what's today? 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody living in the projects in New York, I'm locked up in New York State, understand October 15th, the heat comes on. But that's also true for prison. So there's pipes in the cell. And when the heat goes into the pipes, it makes the pipes expand, and then they make banging noises. Bing, 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 boom, bang, pow, pow. It's loud. Sometimes it's very loud. And amongst that popping sound was like some scraping noise. And
you have 1 minute left.
Even though I'm understanding that it's the pipes, I'm still hearing it scraping, and I'm because I'm thinking that somebody is making a weapon. Anytime I hear scraping, I think a weapon is being forged. Yeah. Anytime someone comes at me aggressive, I feel challenged. Like I need to challenge back. I need to match energy. The phone is gonna hang up. We could leave it here. But we can pick up on the next episode. We can discuss PTSD in prison, how my 20 years has affected me mentally, and what I'm doing to work on those triggers, the external and external triggers that I have that sets off my anxiety, frustration, depression.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Well, that is the first episode of Reentry Building Tables Live Pedigree. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed and wonderful day.